Hi everybody, welcome. We've got a new moon on the 17th of September at 25 degrees exactly of Virgo, with 6 planets now in Earth signs. We've got to come down to Earth. We've got to get real. We've got to look at our situation. We've got to look at the nitty-gritty details about masks, about distancing, about education, about our economy, about our social systems. We've really got to get into the details. Virgo is always about studying detail. We've got some very positive aspects at the time of this new moon, some challenging ones too, but let's start out with the positive ones. This Sun and Moon are trine to Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn. This makes this new moon a wonderful time for setting some plans, for creating some structures in your life. For many school children, it'll be time to go back to school. And if they're not physically going back to school, then there might be an increased online virtual environment for learning and studying. It's a great time for planning out communities. How are we going to get together? How are we going to work together? How are we going to heal our earth? Virgo is the sign that rules healing, health, well-being. And with all this in earth signs, it's really time to take a serious look at what we're doing to our earth, what we're doing personally. What are the little things that you can do personally to nurture Mother Earth? It can be as simple as recycling, it can be simple as appreciating the trees and the flowers, maybe planting something, planting a garden. It could be praying over your food. Little things that just have a sense that we are appreciating nature, appreciating the home, the one planet that we share together. I'm reminded of a Cree Indian prophecy that goes as follows. Only after the last tree has been cut down, only after the last river has been poisoned, only after the last fish has been caught, only then will you find that money cannot be eaten. So we're moving into a new paradigm. We're moving away from this more consumerism. And we're moving into something that is more grounded, more centered, and doesn't leave us going off in many different directions, feeling dissatisfied, feeling empty, feeling lonely, feeling depressed. Now is a time to look at, right, how can I be productive? Virgo wants to be productive. Virgo, above all, wants to be of service, wants to help, is altruistic. Mother Teresa, famous Virgo, who dedicated her life to helping the poor. So what do you want to dedicate your life to? These are the questions that this new moon poses. Now, as always, a new moon in Virgo, it's a brilliant time to clean out, to declutter, to get rid of things you don't need, to really clean your space. Isn't it gorgeous when you know you've got a really clean space? Either a clean office in which to work, and that's not only physically, but also energetically. So this is a great time for doing that. The Sun and Moon are opposite Neptune at this time. So we've got this Virgo Pisces energy going on. We're dealing with the details of our lives, paying attention to that. And also the Pisces energy, the Neptune, trusting that we are being divinely guided, trusting that you've got a divine guidance system. So it's important not to get too obsessed with having to know every last linear detail, but also not to get lost in confusion and chaos, which is the Piscean energy. but to bring the two together. Your imagination, your creativity, and your sense of needing some kind of daily routines, daily practices, rituals, that's the Virgo part, that keep you grounded, that keep you centered, that keep you in good health. The most challenging aspect is the fact that ruler of Virgo is Mercury. Mercury in Libra at the time of this new moon is squaring up to the planets in Capricorn, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. So Mercury square to these energies could be that there are misunderstandings, miscommunications. All too often we think that other people are mind readers, as though they should know what I'm feeling. How could they not know that this would upset me? You may have to really spell things out at this time, to really say, hey, did you understand what I meant? And even ask the person to repeat back to you, to see if you're on the same wavelength. So you may find that politicians are saying one thing and then reneging on it. Of course, that's fairly common these days, but you may find that it is even more accentuated. I think that we've got to really be gentle in our communications. And Mercury in Libra, to get the balance between speaking and listening. And they always say we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So double the listening and we will probably improve our communications greatly. So that's really the thing to remember at this time. We know, as many of as you know, I've been repeating this on my live stream, Saturn is square to Mars. Mars is retrograde right now until November the 13th. So remember to pace yourself. Leave enough time if you're going to get to an appointment. Leave enough time. Don't put yourself under too much pressure situation, because Mars Saturn will blow, and best not if you can avoid it. So it's going to be a good time with Mars square Saturn to focus your energy on one thing at a time. So you might have a big to-do list, especially lists. Virgo likes lists. So I suggest you look at one thing only, the most important, and put your full attention on that. And try not to allow your mind to pull you here and there and say, you should have done this, might have done that, could have, would have, should have. But you will be able to accomplish things one at a time very well at the time of the new moon. So I'd like to close really with a beautiful quote from Henri Matisse. We said, there are always flowers for those who wish to see them. Let's look for the flowers in our lives. Let's look for the flower that wants to blossom inside each one of us. So from me to you, I wish you a beautiful new moon, new earth energy in Virgo. And I thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.